Welcome to Star Bios, the podcast where we delve into the fascinating lives of Hollywood's most beloved stars. I'm your host, Casey Gold, and today we're shining the spotlight on the incomparable Jack Benny, a comedic genius who ruled the airwaves for decades with his quick wit, charming persona, and iconic radio show. From his humble beginnings in Chicago to his rise as one of America's most popular entertainers, Jack Benny's life is a true rags-to-riches story that will leave you laughing, crying, and cheering for more. Born Benjamin Kubelski on February 14, 1894, in Chicago, Illinois, Jack Benny grew up in a Jewish family with a strong emphasis on education and the arts. His father, Meyer Kubelski, was a saloon owner and later a clothing store proprietor, who instilled in his son a strong work ethic and a passion for music. Jack's mother, Emma Sachs Kubelski, was a former opera singer who encouraged her children to explore their creative side. The family lived in a cozy apartment above Meyer's Saloon on West 12th Street, where the sounds of laughter, music, and lively conversation filled the air. As a young boy, Jack attended Hawthorne Avenue Grammar School, where he developed a keen sense of humor and a flair for the dramatic. He was especially drawn to the vaudeville performances at the nearby Chicago Theater, where he would often sneak in to watch the likes of Eddie Cantor, George M. Cohan, and other legendary comedians of the time. Jack's parents, though not wealthy, encouraged his love of performance, and his mother even taught him how to play the violin. On Sundays, the Kubelski family would often take a stroll along the Lake Michigan shoreline, enjoying the fresh air and the vibrant sights and sounds of the city. These carefree days had a profound impact on Jack's development as a comedian, teaching him the importance of observing life's everyday moments and finding humor in the mundane. As Jack entered his teenage years, he began to perform in local talent shows and amateur nights, honing his craft and developing his unique comedic voice. On May 17, 1911, Jack won first prize at the Chicago Theater's amateur night, taking home a whopping $10 and a chance to perform with the theater's resident company. This triumph marked the beginning of Jack's ascent in show business as he set his sights on the bright lights of New York City and the world of vaudeville. In these formative years, Jack was heavily influenced by the likes of Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton, and other silent film stars who were just beginning to make a name for themselves in the entertainment industry. He spent hours watching their films, studying their timing, delivery, and audience interaction. Jack's own comedic style, which would later become synonymous with witty one-liners and clever wordplay, was already beginning to take shape. From the lively atmosphere of his father's saloon to the vibrant streets of Chicago, Jack's childhood was a rich tapestry of experiences that would later inform his comedy and endear him to audiences nationwide. From his family's encouragement to his earliest influences in vaudeville, the seeds of his future success were sown in these formative years. As Jack Benny honed his craft on the vaudeville circuit, he began to develop a unique comedic style that blended witty one-liners, clever wordplay, and physical humor. He drew inspiration from the likes of Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton, and other silent film stars, studying their timing, delivery, and audience interaction. Jack's own performances became increasingly polished, earning him recognition and respect from his peers. In 1917, Jack enlisted in the U.S. Navy during World War I, where he entertained his fellow sailors with comedic sketches and musical performances. This experience not only broadened his horizons but also helped him refine his stage presence and adapt to different audiences. After the war, Jack returned to vaudeville, determined to make a name for himself as a headlining comedian. The 1920s were a pivotal time for Jack Benny, as he began to transition from vaudeville to radio and film. He made his Broadway debut in 1921 with the musical revue, The Earl Carroll Vanities, which showcased his talents as a singer, dancer, and comedian. Jack's big break came in 1929 when he was cast in the Broadway show The Little Show, alongside other notable performers like Clifton Webb and Libby Holman. As radio began to gain popularity, Jack saw an opportunity to reach a wider audience and made his radio debut on May 2, 1932, with The Ed Wynn Show. His quick wit, charming persona, and hilarious characters quickly won over listeners, and he soon landed his own show, The Jack Benny Program, which premiered on October 28, 1932. The show's unique blend of comedy, music, and storytelling captivated audiences nationwide, cementing Jack's status as one of America's most beloved comedians. On his radio show, Jack surrounded himself with a talented cast of characters, including Eddie Rochester Anderson, Mary Livingstone, and Don Wilson. Together, they created a fictional world that was both hilarious and relatable, with Jack playing the role of a lovable, yet cantankerous, miser. The show's running gags, clever writing, and impeccable timing made it a staple of American entertainment, with millions tuning in each week to laugh along with Jack and his cast. As Jack Benny's fame grew, so did his influence on popular culture. He became known for his razor-sharp wit, his iconic violin playing, and his legendary feuds with other celebrities, including Fred Allen and Edgar Birkin. Jack's radio show also launched the careers of numerous comedians, writers, and actors, including Mel Blanc, who would go on to become the voice of Bugs Bunny and other beloved cartoon characters. Throughout the 1930s and 1940s, Jack Benny continued to innovate and experiment with his comedy, incorporating new characters, themes, and formats into his radio show. He also began to make inroads into film, starring in movies like Transatlantic Merry-Go-Round and Buck Benny Rides Again. Jack's success on both radio and screen solidified his position as one of the most versatile and beloved comedians of his time. The 1950s were a transformative time for Jack Benny as he navigated the shifting landscape of American entertainment. With the rise of television, Jack saw an opportunity to bring his unique brand of comedy to a new medium. He made his television debut on October 28, 1950, with the Jack Benny Program, which aired on CBS and featured many of the same characters and running gags that had made his radio show so beloved. On television, Jack continued to push the boundaries of comedy, incorporating new formats, such as the sitcom, and experimenting with innovative production techniques. He also became known for his clever use of cue cards, which allowed him to deliver witty one-liners and humorous asides with ease. The show's success on television was undeniable, with millions tuning in each week to laugh along with Jack and his cast. One of the most notable aspects of Jack's later career was his continued ability to adapt and evolve as a comedian. He remained relevant by incorporating contemporary themes and issues into his comedy, tackling topics like the Cold War, suburbanization, and the rise of consumer culture. Jack's radio show also continued to thrive, with many episodes featuring clever parodies of popular culture, including films, television shows, and even commercials. In addition to his work on radio and television, Jack Benny remained a popular figure in film, starring in movies like The Horn Blows at Midnight and George Washington Slept Here. He also made numerous guest appearances on other television shows, including The Ed Sullivan Show and What's My Line. Jack's enduring popularity was a testament to his unique blend of talent, charisma, and adaptability. Despite his continued success, Jack Benny faced personal struggles in the later years of his life. He suffered from health problems, including arthritis and heart disease, which forced him to slow down his pace and reevaluate his priorities. Jack also experienced the loss of several close friends and colleagues, including his longtime sidekick Eddie Rochester Anderson. In 1974, Jack Benny passed away at the age of 80, leaving behind a legacy as one of America's most beloved comedians. His impact on popular culture is still felt today, with many comedians, writers, and actors citing him as an inspiration. As the comedian George Burns once said, Jack Benny was the greatest comedian who ever lived. He could get more laughs out of a single raised eyebrow than most comedians can get out of a whole routine. His legacy serves as a reminder of the power of comedy to bring people together, to challenge social norms, and to transcend time and circumstance. In the words of Jack Benny himself, "I'm not a comedian, I'm a personality." That's all for today's Star Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Casey Gold reminding you to keep shooting for the stars.